This experience takes place 2 days after my last trip that I covered in part 1. My friend Doug contacts me and lets me know that he wants to go for another trip. I still have 8 tabs, so I decided we should both take 2. This experience also takes place at my house. My family is home, but for the most part, we kind of stayed in my room. Like normal, I swallow mine while Doug goes to the sublingual route. I don't remember much of the come up, but like most experiences with acid, we got giggly. We started our trip with some American Dad. Doug knows pretty much every fucking episode inside and out. After a few episodes, I started to get really creepy vibes. I urged Doug to turn on something else, and so he does. We scroll through Netflix, and I suggest we watch Nurse Jackie, which is a great but very dramatic show, and can be really intense when you're on psychedelics. I go to the kitchen to get a drink when I notice the familiar detached feeling that makes my body feel really strange. I glide to the fridge and fill my cup to the brim with water. As I got settled back in my room, I spilled quite a bit of it on my bed. It was obvious to Doug that I was quite impaired. The euphoria started to kick in for me. While we watched YouTube videos, I noticed Doug was starting to look really concerned. He tells me, "Dude, I'm freaking out." Minutes later, he crawls in my bed and starts to vomit violently on my sheets. I tell him to get up, and I fold the sheet and throw it away. When I come back, he said he wanted to be alone, so I took my pillows and an extra sheet I had from the closet, and I camped out on the big couch in the living room. Alone, my mind begins to wander. I consider the last few days when it hits me. An epiphany. I had an obsession with death. I recognized at that moment that much of my thoughts were unhealthy. I understood that suicidal thinking, particularly about guns and overdoses, were abnormal and unacceptable. It's worth mentioning that my suicidal thinking lasted for a few weeks after this experience, but by analyzing my previous trips and learning the lessons that I was taught by these trips, I was able to escape the burden of suicidal ideation. Putting the lessons I learned from both trips into the context of each other allowed me to ultimately beat my depression. It's been a few months since I've considered killing myself. I finally have control over my emotions and thoughts. I can't recommend this chemical enough. It is a helpful tool, and if you are having trouble with depression, I encourage you to maybe try this chemical. Other drugs make you suppress your feelings and your thoughts, and can be used as an escape to not really address your problems. But acid is the opposite. It shows you your deepest dark secrets and exposes things that you have put out of your mind. It will make you face them, and you will come out a better person every time.